I'm gonna start off with one of my favorite comedians. I can always watch him over and over and over and over and over again. Dave Chappelle. David Chappelle. If you don't know, he dropped his special on Netflix, and it caused an uproar again. It's called The Closer. He spoke on a lot of his battles with white people, the LGBT community, and other people as well. But the only thing that seemed to get any type of outrage was the transgender people, which I was surprised about. I didn't think that was going to be the thing that got the outrage to me watching it. But it came down to the transgender community. They definitely have their own plight that they go through. But the point that Dave was trying to make was some really solid points. He was, nobody cares about injustices against us. But, if you wave that flag, then any small thing that can hurt your feelings could cause people to be canceled. People be driven away from society in certain ways. Or at least you try to make it that way. It's crazy. It's crazy. He made some points. Like, if somebody kills somebody, it should be valued more than somebody hurting your feelings. If somebody's actually doing something to somebody physically harming them, I mean, your feelings matter, but feelings come and go. They do. Trust me, they do. One day you can love somebody, the next day you can't. One day you can be friends, the next day you don't have to be friends. One day you could be the best of anything, next day is different. Feelings come and go. That's one thing we learn in life. Feelings change like the seasons do. But Dave was making some valid points inside his stand-up. Some really valid ones. I don't want to give away all the content, all the jokes, but we do have an article here saying that, that because of the controversy, of course, Netflix had to address the situation because people was asking for the special to be canceled. But they came out and said they're sticking beside the boy. Let me pull up the article right here from CNN. It states, Netflix standing by Dave Chappelle and The Closer. As people should have figured they were. Dave Chappelle makes Netflix money. I don't think some of your employees' feelings being hurt is going to stop the money train. That's corporate America. They don't care about anything but money. So all the fake wokeness goes out the door when the money starts rolling. So the article states, Netflix is defending Dave Chappelle's new comedy special after it has been criticized as transphobic by some LGBTQ plus advocates, artists, and employees. Chappelle's special, The Closer, which debuted on Netflix last week, included several minutes of jokes about trans people. The comedian says in the special he is Team TERF, referencing the term trans exclusionary radical feminist. That's a term that I never knew what a TERF was, but I learned from the special. So TERF is a group of women who say trans women aren't women because biologically they aren't women. I don't mean to hurt anybody's feelings with this. Please don't beat me up. Please don't beat me up. But he said biologically everybody comes through the womb of a woman. That's kind of been historical fact through all types of animals. Minus the rare few occasions when you got different species where the male would do something. But other than that, 99.8 maybe percent is all, they come through women. So let me continue on with this article. Gender is a fact, Chappelle says. Every human being in this room, every human being on earth had to pass through the legs of a woman to be on earth. That is fact. Well, technically speaking, that is correct, Dave. That is correct. I'm not going to argue with you there. But of course, that will hurt somebody's feelings because they feel like what they identify as, it doesn't necessarily have to be what they were identified as a child. I mean, that's not for me to decide, I'm not here to get canceled today. This isn't that episode for me to get canceled yet. Yeah, I'm in a good mood today. I'm just saying. Okay. The article states he talks about backlash he received after making jokes about Caitlyn Jenner and other trans people in previous specials. Criticized cancel culture around author J.K. Rowling and references his friendship with Daphne Dorman, a trans woman and fellow comedian who opened up for him in one of his San Francisco shows. It says Dorman died by suicide in 2019, which Chappelle addresses in the closer. Yeah, that last story when he talks about Daphne, it sucks because I was enjoying the show. Then it became almost like an emotional tearjerker. Dave is amazing at telling stories, and he will pull you in, which he did to me. He definitely did that doing the show for me. Dave's just an amazing comedian. He's always been one of my favorites. But yeah, that story about Daphne, it'll really, really pull you in. So I had to take a little break, but we right back. Let me get right back to this article so we can finish up. So it says, in October the 8th, in October 8th, email to employees from Netflix co-CEO Ted Sarandos and obtained by The Verge and Variety, the executive defended the special. Several of you have also asked where we draw the line on hate. We don't allow titles on Netflix that are designed to incite hate or violence, and we don't believe the closer crosses that line. I recognize, however, that distinguishing between commentary and harm is hard, especially with stand-up comedy, which exists to push boundaries. Sarandos wrote to staff. Some people find the art of stand-up to be mean-spirited, but our members enjoy it, and it's an important part of our content offering. Again, the money will decide where the woke ends. A lot of the times, money will decide where the wokeness comes and goes. Again, comedy is meant to push boundaries, it's meant to push lines. If you watch any stand-up comedian, the greats, they push boundaries, they push lines. And it just seems like in the age of social media, everybody wants everybody to be so sensitive, and everybody's not the best way that I'm trying to put this is, just because somebody doesn't agree with what you do doesn't mean it's hate. It's not always hate. You can love people and hate the decisions they make. You still got love for them. I can like things you do. Don't like you personally. Feel like that about plenty of athletes, who burnt my teams in the past, beat on my teams. Gerald Wallace could be the greatest man in the world, but I always remember the day he fell on Gilbert Arenas' knee. I'll never like him for that. You know what I'm saying? That's personal. I'll never like him for that. He could be a great man. I won't hate him. I never liked Gerald Wallace for what he did to Gilbert that day. I mean, so I know comedy pushes lines. That's what it's built to do. That's what it's meant to do. Says CNN has not verified the emails, but it also says that Netflix suspended 3 employees for attending a virtual meeting of directors and vice presidents last week without notifying the meeting organizer in advance. One of the suspended employees, Tara Field, a senior software engineer who identifies as queer and trans, had publicly criticized the closer on Twitter last week. Her suspension was due to her attendance to the meeting and not her tweets, according to the source. It is absolutely untrue to say we have suspended any employee for tweeting about this show. Our employees are encouraged to disagree openly, and we support their right to do so. On Tuesday, Field shared that she is no longer suspended. Netflix has reinstated me after finding there was no ill intent in my attending the QBR meeting. I'm going to take a few days off to decompress and try to figure out where I'm at. At the very least, I feel vindicated. Phil tweeted last week that Chappelle's special ridiculed the existence of trans people, promoting turf ideology, which is what we did by giving it a platform yesterday, directly harms trans people. It is not some neutral act. This is not an argument with two sides. It's an argument with trans people who want to be alive and people who don't want us to be. So yeah, they were trying to get Dave Chappelle out the paint, but Chappelle, he took it in strides. Most people don't have the capacity to do what Dave Chappelle did. He showed before the money ain't gonna be the thing that move him when he turned down the 50 mil back in the day. He just flat out told them, nah, I'm done. This ain't working. And he mentioned that in the special. You've done it, but I'm not gonna let that, come down and hurt me. Like I didn't turn down the money before, so you saying you're gonna cancel me doesn't bother me as much because my fan base is different than what your opinion is. I don't think Dave's a bad guy. I don't think he's doing any of this is like ill intent or harm on purpose. I really doubt it. And as he said in the special, my beef has been with white people. And then you move the goalposts every time. This is what he said. You move the goalposts after you feel like he gets you in the corner. You change up on him and you make it harder for him to attack the things he really want to talk about. But, Dave's great. Shout out to Netflix for standing beside Dave Chappelle in that moment. Again, if you haven't seen it, you should watch it. The last 10 minutes is a real tearjerker. You know what I'm saying? He will pull on your emotional strings with that one. But this next story, it's your boy DJTheParkBoy, and I'm here with a special product for you. I got some Delta 8 weed from JK Distro, and I'm saying it's amazing. It's clean, smokable, and the best part is they deliver it right to your door. Because of the 2018 Farm Bill, it's now legal for them to have Delta 8 weed sent through the mail. That's right. And if you use promo code FLOSS1, you can get some clean, smokable weed sent to your door. Direct. You have options. You go right there to jkdistro.com. You look at all the strands they have, which is a lot. You can even get you some edibles. You can get you some wine. Anything in between you can think of. You put in promo code FLOSS1, you're going to save you 20%. So go ahead, hop on that now. Make sure it's in the description.